Meanwhile, Deputy African Union Commission Chairperson Kwesi Kwartey is pushing for the Justice Short Commission to hold a public hearing in the Ayawaso West Wuogon violence probe. He argues this will be key for the successful resolution of the current disagreement about what exactly transpired during the by-election. You recall on Thursday, security analyst Adam Bona proposed a public hearing of the commission. Speaking to JoyNews at the AU's headquarters in Ethiopia, Ambassador Kwartey expressed optimism the commission will do a good job.
We have a tradition of this democracy which we cherish, and we don't want to lose it.
In terms of resolving this matter, Ghana, we've set up a commission of inquiry to look into the disturbances. You think that is a way to go and should be back?
It is a good beginning. I know I'm short. The others in the committee, I know Patrick Achampon, who used to be IGP,
yes.
And I don't know who else is there.
There's Professor
Mensah Bose, a professor of law, my very good friend. I mean, I think that that committee is good, and they will be impartial and they will come out of it. No. We have been lucky that this happened. It has served as notice.
You think the committee would be able to unravel this and give us far
Yes, I'm sure they will sit not in camera, they'll sit open. People will come and give evidence, and you will hear the evidence, and they'll come up with the report, and they'll be implemented. No, I think that when I saw the committee, it gives me hope.
So you think a public hearing will be the best?
I think a public hearing will be the best. You see, it's important to air out your dirty linen sometimes. It cleans out everything. You know, that is why our democracy, young as it is that strong. Everything is done publicly. So you see it. And when the people start condemning it, you know it. You know, there's nothing like transparency and openness. And to influence people's minds, to serve as warning to all of us, to also serve as an education that, look, we have something that we cherish and we don't want to lose it. And I think Ghanaians have come out clearly to indicate that, hey, be careful.
Ambassador Kwartey has meanwhile called for a halt to the trend where political party members are recruited into security agencies.
You see, what makes a state is the monopoly of violence by the police and the military. That is the backbone of the state. When you have one armed central authority which has access to arms, like the army, and is organized centrally in a very organized manner, the way our army is or the police is, that is the backbone that gives the state its validity.
But currently we are actually seeing a trend where they are recruiting such individuals into these state agencies. I'm
saying that. So when that central authority, military authority, is divided, then you have a civil war. So we should be careful that we maintain that central authority. And, you know, arms must be controlled and must be regulated. The army is organized and regulated in a hierarchy. They have discipline. Vigilante groups do not have that discipline.
And so the if we dilute our state power, it could break down the discipline.
That is why we have to be concerned about that.
So we must perhaps take a look at keeping it as professional. It should be the recruitment process.
Make it professional. Go for ability and quality.
Not party food soldiers.
Not party food soldiers. You know, that's very important. Will you come in? Yeah.
And Joseph Akable joins us from Addis Ababa, where he's covering the AU program. Joseph, first of all, tell us about this controversy about Kwame Nkrumah Statue at the AU that some had suggested President Akufo-Addo pushed for it to be removed and replaced with that of Haile Selassie. What have you gathered?
So I got some clarification from Ambassador Kwartey. He explains that at a previous session of the African Union, there had been an opportunity for other matters to be brought up, and Ghana's president did move that motion, marking that it was important due to the contribution of the emperor to the formation of the OAU, which is currently the AU. It's important for him to be recognized. The context of the matter is that when this new office of the AU was opened. It had the statue of Ghana's first president attached to it. It was one of the things that came along with this particular edifice, even though it was donated by Ghana. But there was a bit of agitation in Ethiopia. Some Ethiopians were not entirely enthused about it. They felt that it shouldn't be Kwame Nkrumah necessarily, because Selassie was also very important to the struggle. We are told that President Akufo-Addo, in moving that motion, did explain that he, as a Ghanaian, recognizes the contribution of Haile Selassie and Osagyefo for Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. So once Dr. Kwame Nkrumah has been duly recognized, it doesn't spoil anything for Haile Selassie to also be recognized. So we are told that once that motion was moved and it ended, there was a thunderous applause from the entire auditorium, and we are told that the Guinean president was then presiding over that engagement, and the Guinean president's response was to the effect that Mr. President, you can clearly see the response to what you are proposing. So that carried the day. And as I speak to you now, Mavi, on the compound of the African Union headquarters, Emperor Selassie's statue has been placed. It's still covered. We are told that it will be unveiled before the end of this particular session. So it means that when you come here to the African Union headquarters in Addis Ababa, on the compound, there will be two statues at different ends. One has Ghana's first president, Osagyefo for Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, and at the other side, you have that of Emperor Selassie, which will be unveiled.
We understand there are some news conferences by various commissions under the AU that will take place today. Tell us more, Joseph.
In fact, one of them ended a short while ago, and that's one had to do with the single African air transport. That was addressed by the Commissioner for Infrastructure and Energy, Dr. Abu Zaid. Now, what that seeks to do is to create a kind of market space that's able to regulate the prices of airline fares, among others. So it's an agreement that Ghana was one of the first countries to sign on to. Ghana, in terms of lots of the agreements that have come up so far for discussions, is playing a lead role in signing on to those agreements. So the expectation is that the AU has been able to secure some fund in the excess of $5 million. Now, this is money that its aviation authority is going to use to monitor the process closely. There were some concerns from Nigeria and Egypt with regards to competition, because they feel that when the continental body comes in to regulate, it may end up benefiting the bigger airlines to the detriment of countries that may not have airlines that have the financial muscle to benefit from an equal playing field. So that is one concern that has come in. But we are told that a draft policy for a competition framework has been set up. It's a bit about how disputes will be resolved. That is what remains outstanding. And the AU expects to have some more engagement with the two countries and hoping to conclude and get some more other countries to sign up onto it. There will be another briefing later in the afternoon at 3 p.m. It's about 1 p.m. as I speak to you now. That will be addressed by the Commissioner for Political Affairs, His Excellency Menata Samnati, and he'll be talking about conflict prevention as a strategy towards durable solutions for forced displacement in Africa. And that is when we are expecting to raise the issue of the creeping paramilitary groups that are taking place in Ghana, like we see it in terms of the vigilante groups. We are expecting to raise it with the African Union itself to get an official response as to what the position should be, because we are told that it's not something that is just peculiar to Ghana. There are trends in other countries as well.
Tell us the representation from Ghana. How does it look like?
I spotted our foreign minister on the first day when the session was opened. She was present. She has so far been taking part in the deliberations that have been ongoing. We understand the president will be coming in, but he will be coming specifically on Sunday and Monday. Those are the two main sessions that will have the head of states participating in. So what is currently taking place has the various foreign ministers from the various countries meeting and deliberating on the issues before their heads of states join them. So in terms of the Ghanaian delegation, that is how it looks so far, Avi.
Thank you very much, Joseph Akable. We have to leave it here. Joseph joining me live from Addis Ababa in Ethiopia.